Oh. Ty Spiritual, and I'm back with another video, man. Simple. Now I'm gonna speak to you guys about death today and how to deal with death and how to deal with losing somebody that you've been accustomed to having in your life for a long period of time. All right. Now, for those that haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and share the video. Regardless what platform you're watching this on, those things really help. Okay. Now, I see people almost daily on Twitter, Facebook, speaking about and posting things about how they lost a loved one, how that body has died. That person's no longer there and they're sad, they're upset. I get that, I understand that, okay? Here's the thing, and this video, don't mistake this. This video is not to sway you towards spirituality, okay? Just with in the hopes of just so you can deal with death easier. No, this video isn't to sway you towards spirituality, okay? This video isn't to stray you away from spirituality either. This video is to simply give you information and give you an understanding, okay? Don't believe anything I say. That's the first thing. It's either you know it or you don't know. And if you don't know it, the possibilities of you knowing are now infinite. You can know from within and you can know from doing your own research and your own experience. All right, with that being said, let's get into it. Dealing with death is easier when you're spiritually aware. What do I mean by that? You see, and this is not to diss anybody's belief systems or nothing like that, but a lot of things people follow make it seem like this is the only lifetime you get. You got one shot, you got one crack at it. You either get it right now or you don't get it right ever, okay? That's not the case. Many people watching this video, you've been in various different bodies, on different planets, in different galaxies, and these things aren't to, this is not everyone, but these things is not to blow your imagination up. Don't confuse that. But the reality is most of us here, this is not your first lifetime. It's not, okay? So when you understand that, it's easier to deal with losing a loved one, because you see, when people lose somebody, they think that person's gone forever. That body might be gone forever, but who they really were in here is not gone at all. It's not gone at all. You see, death isn't the end. It's only the beginning of a new journey. Okay? That's all it is. This body, this vehicle that you're in, it's only a suit. It's only a suit. You use it until it dies, and you find another one. That's how this works, okay? That mourning process can be tough. It can be. But what we have to accept is that we are all going to die one day. This physical, let me move this camera over so I can get in the sun a little bit. Hold up a second. This physical body is not going to last forever. It's not. It wasn't designed to. It was never intended to. This physical body is not going to last forever. So you have to become comfortable and understand that you're going to die one day. You have to be comfortable with that. You cannot, well, I won't say you cannot, but you should not fear death. You should not fear things you can't control. It's inevitable. It's going to happen, okay? I understand people get sad because they can't speak to that person anymore. Again, I'm not saying that you should automatically get over losing someone in a day. Even when you're spiritual. While I said it's easier, it still can be tough dealing with losing somebody, especially if it's in a tragic way to the point where it feels like their life was cut short. That can be difficult. That can be difficult to deal with, and I understand that. But when you understand that this is not the end, it makes it easier for you, because you're like, oh, it's not goodbye. It's until we meet again. I always say that in my videos. Until we meet again. It's not goodbye. It's until we meet again. Okay? I've become comfortable knowing people I know are going to pass away. Some of these people may pass away tragically, out of nowhere. I may pass away. I've become comfortable with these things. You should not fear these things, because when you, and this is not going to be a video about what happens when you die. I'm saving that for another video in a different time. But to be brief, when you pass away and you're in anger and you're in denial and you're in shock, your life force is erratic, because you just got torn from this vesicle, ripped out. You can think of it like this. You got a cord, you plug it in the outlet to get power, okay? See yourself, see that, I don't know, you could say prong, the little part that goes into the wall. See yourself as that. See the cord extension as your higher self. Your higher self is connected to that prong, powering it into the wall, giving that experience, okay? When you die tragically and you're ripped from your body, say you get killed, say you tragic, you get shot or get in a wreck, it's quick. Snatch that cord out of the wall, but hold on, hold up. The only part that left was the cord itself. That prong is still in the wall. What does that mean? That means a part of you, because you died that way and tragically and you weren't spiritually aware, a part of you is still attached here. You can't accept it, okay? We have to understand, we are more than this physical body. We are. Like, I haven't recalled as much as others have, but I've recalled certain things that showed me and proved to me that I'm more than this physical vessel. I'm more than this lifetime. I am. This is not the end. Death is not the end. It's not. You may have lost somebody, but the reality is you could possibly meet each other again one day on another planet, possibly in the same lifetime, possibly in the next one. These things are all possible, okay? It's not the end. It's not. Again, I'm not telling people how to mourn. I'm not telling that, because people do that in their own way. But the main thing I want you guys to understand is, if you lose somebody tragically, it's okay to mourn, but you can't dwell on them for years and years and years and years and years and decades to come. Okay? Now I'm gonna speak on something that's gonna be a little sensitive. All right? And this video, and this isn't to offend anybody or nothing like that, but I see people a lot. They go to graves every year, leaving flowers for their loved ones. I understand why people do that. Here's the issue. You see, when you're torn from that body, you linger around that body. Especially for people that died tragically and they were not spiritually aware. They're lingering around that body. They're in a state of confusion, okay? They're in that point where they have to accept that body's gone and move on. That's where they are. So they're lingering. And when you're in that space, time doesn't exist. Time doesn't move the same. Time only exists when you're in the 3D. Time moves very slow. When you're out of that, time moves like that. 20 years, like that. Feel like a few seconds. Here's why I brought that up. When you continuously go to a grave, that confuses that life force. Oh, this person's coming back again. They're paying attention to you. Oh, they came back again. They're paying attention to you. They came back, they came back, they came back, they came back. That's going to make it harder for that life force to move on, because it's constantly being reminded of what it left behind, okay? So I'm not telling you to not do that, to not go visit grave sites. I'm not telling you to go visit grave sites. I'm only telling you what it does to that life force that is lingering around that body. It knows that body is there. That body is in the ground. It can't see it, but it knows it's there. Okay? It needs to move on. It needs to accept it's over. Okay? And for this lifetime, it needs to accept that it is over. So when you constantly go to grave sites and you keep doing these things, it makes it harder and harder for it to accept it's over. Okay? It can take 1,000 years for people to finally get it together, for their life force to become feeble. Because you see, when you die with regret or tragically, your life force is erratic. It can't move on like that. It can't. And I'm going to go in more depth with what happens after you die in due time. But that's just a brief explanation. But the point of this video, and I want people to understand, is you have to accept that you are going to die one day. You should not fear death. You should not fear things you can't control. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. You should not fear things you cannot control. All right? So, and it may sound crazy, but I've already thought of these things, man. If somebody, and again, this is not me manifesting. Don't misunderstand that. Just because you think of something, that doesn't mean you automatically manifest. There has to be intention and energy there, okay? But I've become comfortable with the fact, knowing that some people around me may die tragically. And while I may be sad a little down in the moment, I gotta understand, hey, this is, I won't call it a game because it's a little more complex than that. But this is just a simulation, okay? You get this avatar, this body, have the experience, that body shuts down, you move on. See it as when you're driving a car. Eventually the battery in your car is the cells are going to die. You're going to need a new battery. You don't dwell or get upset or angry and mourn for years because you lost that battery. No, you replace that battery. Now, I'm not comparing a battery to human life, but what I'm saying is you end up finding another battery. That person will end up finding another body, okay? Some people, and I'm gonna say this, some people, this is their last lifetime. This is their last lifetime in the physical for various reasons. This is their last one. For some people, this is not, okay? So when you lose people tragically, understand this. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to dwell. It is. But eventually you're going to have to move on with your life. And that person is going to have to move on as life force energy. Because again, rather you're spiritual or rather you're religious, we can all agree that there is something beyond this. Religion refers to it as heaven, going back to the creator. Spirituality is more so about reincarnation. Okay? I know for a fact I've been here before. I've had that proven to me. Not only from others, but based off my own experiences and things I recall. Okay? I know that. All right? I am comfortable with knowing, hey, if I pass away, I pass away. This body's gone. I'll just find another one. Now, it's easy to say, and it takes time to become that comfortable with it. It takes time, okay? Because there's so much fear around the topic of death that people don't really discuss it that much, okay? And not in detail how they should. That there's so much fear around the topic of death. There is. It's like this taboo thing, and people don't speak about it. But we're not taught what we have up here. We aren't taught that we have a higher self. And speaking of the higher self, I almost forgot this. I almost forgot to speak on this. But I'm gonna say this. For a lot of people, this is obtainable for you. Not for everyone. Okay? You have a certain protection with you from accidental death. You do. Here's what I mean when I say that. You have your higher self and you have you in the physical. If you're watching this video and you're from a religious perspective, say higher self, soul. I don't like using that word soul because that word is maintaining, but you can say soul. You have that and you have you in the physical, okay? Your higher self is guiding you. Here's how. Your higher self can see and become aware of more than what you can see. So it's like right here. You're back here. You're both moving at the same time, okay? So if you're both moving at the same time and it's ahead of you, that means it's obvious that it has hindsight, okay? So your higher self, you guys are moving just like this, just like this. Hold up. Higher self going at a stop. I don't see nothing right here. I can't become aware of nothing right. I can't see no scenarios that go past right here. What happened? Turn, oh, I died accidentally. Okay, I'm going to go back and try to contact me in the physical to get me to do something different so we can completely avoid that timeline and keep moving forward, all right? Here's how you can know that. And we aren't taught this. That feeling that you get within that you shouldn't do something. Man, something's telling me, man, not to get on that plane. Man, something's telling me not to go to that club. I got that feeling. Something's telling me, man, I'm in a danger. I'm getting a lot of anxiety right now. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. We aren't taught what that is. That is your higher self sending a last-minute warning to you to do something differently, to not do that. Because if you do that, we're going to go down that direction that your higher self tried to get you to avoid, and you're going to die accidentally. Even when driving cars, we aren't taught this. When you're driving on the road, it's very easy to just move and drive on autopilot, tendencies. Don't drive on tendencies and autopilot. That's easier said than done. But as you're driving, just take a time, just say this to yourself a few times, and you'll feel different after you say this to yourself, and you'll understand what I'm saying. I am in the body, I am conscious. Just say that while you're driving, and pay attention to how you feel afterward. You're like, whoa, I'm a lot more alert now than before I said that, because I was just driving on autopilot. It's very important you do that. Your higher self has hindsight of you in the physical, and it will warn you of danger and things you shouldn't do. That intuition that you get within here, I really shouldn't do that. I really shouldn't do that. I really shouldn't go there. That's a warning. I'm not saying allow this to let you become paranoid and every little thing you think like that, no. But when that situation truly arrives, and that's, like I said, this is possible for most people, not every person, okay? But once that situation arrives, it will try and warn you if your life is in danger, okay? You're driving on the road. Your higher self already sees this wreck is going to happen. Let me turn around. Let me get back to him, get back to her. Hey, slow down. Hey, stay at the stop sign a little longer. Hey, don't pull out to that green light a little too fast. That feeling will be there, you see? But because most people are on autopilot, they ignore that. And they go ahead and they die tragically. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying everybody that's died in the wreck had it coming to nothing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it will try to help you in the physical avoid accidental death, okay? There's some scenarios people enter. It can see some scenarios where, hey, if this person ends up going to the club, there's no scenario I can do to say there's nothing past that night. There's nothing past that night. You've seen it. They had a guy. I think his name was Chad Gaspar or something like it. It was okay. The WWE tag team known as Crime Time. I think the other guy name was Chad, not the shorter one, not JTG. The other guy name was Chad, black guy. He ended up dying because he went to the beach. I think he went to the beach, and his son ended up about to drown, and he jumped in and saved his son. Here's the thing. When you're in a scenario where your higher self sees there's nothing past this night, it'll try to get you to not go. Okay? But again, and this is very sensitive. He still went. All right. So he's going to go. Okay. So the son is going to be about to drown. The son is going to have his life in. Okay. There's no scenario past this night for him, for Chad. But there is a scenario past this night for the son. Okay, so I'm try to get him to move in the direction of saving the son, so the son can continue to go on. Although he doesn't have a scenario past that night, the son had a scenario past that night. That's how the higher self works. Okay, in a situation where death is inevitable, it can't be avoided if we go in this direction. It can look for a scenario to save somebody else, or to do something differently to save somebody else, or push somebody out of harm's way. It can do that. Okay? Again, these things are not for you to believe. These things are for you to have an understanding. All right? Understanding all these things will make it easier for you to cope with dealing with death. All right? Again, I'm going to make very detailed videos in the future about the process of exactly what happens after death. I am, okay? But for many people, I see you guys, you've lost people, you think that person's gone, they're not gone. No, that physical body is just returning back to where it came from, this planet. That life force is going to continue to move on, okay? Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And Spiritual Pharaoh also made a video on death that I'm going to plug in this video right here. I'll have a link in the description. Make sure you watch that video. He has 2 videos on death, okay? Make sure you guys watch those videos. So for those dealing with a loved one, understand. And like I told you guys earlier, some people, this is their last one. Some people are going to continue living after this. What I can assure you is this. That person was more than that body, okay? They were more than that body, all right? So although they may be gone in the physical, there's still a chance you two can meet each other again. There's still a chance for that. People have done it. Came back. People have done it. All right? Think about it. We know we got all these galaxies. Billions, billions, billions of galaxies. Billions, billions, billions of years old. One lifetime? No. Why would there only be life on one planet in the Milky Way galaxy, within the Goldilocks zone, on planet Kai, planet Earth, the Great Mother, only life in that galaxy? Why? When there's all these other galaxies. Why? People look for proof of aliens. This video is not about that. Look in the pyramids. Look into the ancient cultures and what they said. I think that the Dongo people, the Sumerians, the Kushites, the Egyptians, look into the things they spoke of. We're not alone out here, man. This is not the end. We are more than this physical vessel, okay? So the main thing to take away from this video is this. It's okay to mourn people after they pass away. But eventually you need to understand that you have to move on with your life, just like they have to move on with their process of accepting that life is over. This is why cremation is very helpful for that deceased person, because you see, when that body's there, that life force lingers. It can see, it can become aware of itself. What's that? Hold on. This is me. What's that? Confusion, paranoia. Unlike what we know right now, paranoia. There's nothing there to calm you down. You see, when you get upset, and you get angry, you eventually calm yourself down. Seguru spoke of this, called discriminatory mind. That's no longer there. Okay? So it's like an infinite stage, I won't say infinite, but a long stage of paranoia and confusion. And while you're there, time in the physical, it's flying, it's moving. Okay, over there, it can feel like a few seconds. All right? So, it's very, very important that you guys understand you are more than this physical body. You are. Okay? And just because somebody died, this is not the end. I've already made a video. If I die tragically, I don't want people to be upset and dwelling over me. I don't want that, okay? And to finish my point off about cremation, when that life force can become aware of itself, that body, it lingers. When that body is cremated and now it's gone, that life force, game's up. The jig is up. That body's gone. It makes it easier for that life force to move on, to accept it. That's why I say when I pass away, cremate this body. If I pass away tragically, cremate this body. Because if I don't pass away tragically, I'm going to ascend, because that's what I'm working towards. And that the whole 5D ascension, I made multiple videos about that. New Earth, 5D ascension in 40 to 50 years. You can check my channel and find a lot of stuff about that. I've uploaded Dolores Cannon playlist, 3 Ways of Volunteers. She spoke about the whole New Earth thing years ago. All right, and people, just to be quick, for people that are new to this and watching this, she obtained this information, same information, similar stories, through people's higher self, because she put them in a deep state of trance, to the point where she completely moved out the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind came forward. She asked these people all these different questions. Why are you here? They all said the same thing. So if you got people all saying these same things subconsciously, this is not their conscious mind. They're not consciously saying it. You got these people saying these same things. And then you got these entities coming through these people speaking all these same things, all these things adding up. There must be validity to it. Okay? So anyways, I didn't make for this video to go this long, but I just want you guys to understand that we have to become comfortable knowing that we may lose people tragically. We should not fear death, okay? We should not fear death. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Because it's because of death. Death adds value to life. I'll say it again. Death adds value to life. Because if people couldn't die in the physical, would there really be any, prestige in living? I'm never gonna die. I can do this, I can do that. I'm never gonna die. But because we know we're going to die one day, most people spend their lives every day doing the best they can. That's what you should do. When you go to sleep at night, you should go to sleep being comfortable. Hey, if I don't wake up the next morning, I'm okay with that. And that may sound crazy, but you need to get into that mindset, so it'll be easier for you to accept it. And for those that may want a little more proof about this, before you go to sleep, say this to yourself. You can say it out loud, you can say it in your head, and it's hard to do. It's hard to achieve. Say, I am not the mind, I am not the body. Say that as many times as you can until you fall asleep. And if you get it right, you'll become aware of something that you never would have thought was possible. And that will prove to you you are more than this physical body. That's only one thing, one of the many things that will prove to you that you are more than a physical body. Okay, so you laying down, I am not the mind, I am not the body. I am not the mind, I am not the body. It's hard to do. You're not gonna get it on your first night, but it's possible. Okay? Raising your vibration of frequency and getting out of nature. There's a reason you see me sitting next to this tree. I'm grounding. My spine is pressed against this tree. I am within this tree's aura range. This tree is within my aura range. Those auras are now connected. Grounding. It's an energetic exchange. So when you see people sitting next to trees, it may look weird, but these trees have energy, life force energy. Okay, I'm not gonna say trees have the same type of life force energy as me. I'm not saying that, but it has life force energy within it to the point where it can create an aura. All right. So when you go out and you ground, this planet also has an aura. When you go out and you ground, you put your feet in the grass, you're connecting to that. Okay, and you can become aware of certain things. All right. So when I be sitting next to these trees and I look like I'm blissed out, I'm connecting to the energy that is within this. I'm connecting to the energy that is within this planet. I am. Okay, so when you go out here in the ground, I'm not saying automatically expect to feel something. No, don't expect to feel anything. Even when you meditate, don't expect anything to happen. Don't expect anything. Only be present in the present moment. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And eventually, you'll start experiencing things. Okay? So anyways, I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope this video helps some people, because it can be tough dealing with people. My dad just got in a car crash like 2 weeks ago. Almost it could have died. Here's the thing. If that would have happened, it'd been sad in the moment. But you see, what I know about him and a few other of my family members, this is not the end for us. This is just a body. It's just a body. It's not the end. It's not goodbye. It's until we meet again. It's until we meet again. Because you see, when you go funerals, that body's in the casket, that life force is lingering around the casket, and then it's aware of all these people crying. That life force can feel empathy in a way. It can. So I go there. I go to funerals. I don't cry. No, I stay strong. Okay, I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but I stay strong. All right. So anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. It's an absolutely beautiful day out here in nature, man. That's how it looks out here. It's absolutely beautiful. And you guys may be wondering, how am I sitting next to this tree? I got a few trees that died stacked up, and I'm just sitting on them with my back against this tree. But I hope this video gave you guys some clarity on death and why you shouldn't fear it, because it's something that you can't control. Okay? And if you're watching this on Facebook, or Facebook especially, feel free to send me a message. If you guys have questions about spirituality, I'll talk to you. I will. Because I see my videos on Facebook, they get like 30 views, 40 views, not that many likes though, but people are watching. I'm not saying you have to hit the like button, that's your choice. All right? But if you have questions, you can ask me. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. Make sure you get out in nature. It'll raise your vibrational frequency, and like the Navi say in Avatar, until we meet again. And I see you. Simple. Oh, and let's do some Om chants to lighten up the energy, since we've spoken of death, all right? Om. And one more thing I want to touch on is this. And this is an obstacle for many people when it comes to being spiritual, all right? Many people go around with a warlike mindset daily. They do. They're so tough. They're so masculine. So when they hear about spirituality, oh, you gotta people sit next to trees. I gotta ground my feet off. I gotta do all these things. I gotta post myself looking happy. They're even subconsciously, this can be the case. They are afraid of being vulnerable. Okay, they're afraid of putting themselves in a vulnerable position, because we've been programmed that we gotta stay tough and masculine all the time. But regardless, whether you're a male or female, both energies reside within you, feminine and masculine. You have to be in touch with both of those. Don't let one override the other, but you have to be in touch with both of those, okay? So you have to be comfortable surrendering yourself in a way to raise your vibrational frequency. Okay? So although some people may not want to do these things in public, find a place where you're by yourself. Okay? But I guarantee you, the more you learn about spirituality, the easier it'll be to cope with death and understand it. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. Ty Spiritual signing out, bro. I see you. Simple.